Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are going to take a look at search strategies. Yes, we're going to take a look at how you can possibly find something out there on that World Wide Web that is lost in a million, billion different websites. So today we are all going to get googly. All right? So what we're going to take a look at is really three major ideas: including and excluding, phrase searching, and field searching. So the first key idea is all about including a specific word in your search. This is because you want to find a specific web page that has that specific word, which in most cases are a concept or a key term or someone's name, and you don't want to return all sorts of different web pages that doesn't have that key term. So when we include something, we want to use the plus or the and word between words, and this will return web pages that includes that word. So for instance, if we type in Rick Hansen and school or Rick Hansen plus school, we'll get web pages that return Rick Hansen and school in them, rather than just web pages that have Rick Hansen's name and then other pages that have school as part of their name. And you can only imagine how many results that's going to return. So let's take a look at this. So let's take a look what happens when we type in Rick Hansen school. We get a number of results, and luckily the first one that does come up is Rick Hansen Secondary School. But we also get a number of different web pages that is associated with Rick Hansen, not necessarily the school, and therefore we get programs and initiatives at Rick Hansen Foundation. And that's great, and you can check that out obviously. But what if we want just Rick Hansen school web pages? Well, we'll type in and we'll get web pages now that just pertain to Rick Hansen Secondary School or to Rick Hansen School. What if we refine it further and do secondary? Now our results are starting to narrow down quite a bit more. What if we want it in Mississauga? Now our results are becoming even more refined, and that's what we're using our and for. Again, remember, we can type in plus as well instead of the and, right? And that will also help us refine our searches. So the next key idea is excluding certain terms or phrases or names or whatever you're going to type in here. This is done by entering in the minus symbol or not. So this will make your results not contain that specific word. It's because you want to return websites that have a specific phrase, and oftentimes that phrase is attached to another name, but you don't want that. You don't want a specific phrase and therefore a specific type of web page. So for instance, if you're looking for web pages that are just about Rick Hansen and not Rick Hansen School, you'll type in Rick Hansen not school, and therefore web pages will be returned that do not have school within the name of it. Let's take a look. So what happens if we don't want Rick Hansen School in our search results? Well, first we start with Rick Hansen School, and again we get the number of results that is found with those words. What if we don't want the school part? What if we want just sites about Rick Hansen, not school? Well, now all of a sudden you can see that the first result that comes back is Wikipedia, and it's about Rick Hansen himself. It gets some results, but we need to narrow those down. Not school, not board, not secondary. Right? And we start to really refine our search results. So the next key idea is phrase searching. Phrase searching allows us to find web pages that contains a specific phrase. So by putting quotations around a number of words, the search engine will look for those words exactly how they are written. So think about it. If you're searching for a specific name of a person, for example, Brad Pitt, let's say, and you put quotations around his name, you'll find pages that contain his name. Rather, if you typed in just Brad Pitt, you would find pages that contain both words, Brad and Pitt, and you'd get a lot of people named Brad, I guess, in your search results. right? So for us as teachers, just for so you know, this is a great way that we can look for phrases that are often used in reports that you may have copied from the internet. So just a little word of warning there. So let's take a look. So phrase searching also allows us to refine our search. So let's try Toronto Blue Jays this time. If I type in just the Toronto Blue Jays, I get a number of results, news articles, and various other websites that talk about the Blue Jays, their schedule, right? You go to the home opener, it's going to be a good year, people, it's going to be a good year, right? But what if I want to find websites that talk about how amazing the Toronto Blue Jays are? So I'll type in Toronto Blue Jays are amazing. And now all of a sudden the results that I get back are a lot of people on Twitter talking about just how amazing the Blue Jays are. You might find one of these being me. But that's a great way to use phrase searching, right? You can type in various phrases and return web pages that have that exact phrase on it. So lastly is field searching. Field searching is all about finding sites of a specific type, right? So if you want to find a specific type of website, because you're looking for credible websites, you definitely want to think about field searching. And so one of the ways you can do field searching is by using in title. In title will only return sites that have those words you want in the page title. So the title in which web developers give to their web pages, that's what you're looking for. And therefore it can return very credible types of web pages. Other field search options are in URL or the site option. Now the in URL option will return sites that have the exact phrase in the web address, right? We give web addresses www.rickhansenss.peelschools.org. That's a web address. And what we call that is actually a URL. And so we're looking for specific types of URLs. Now the other one is site. And this is where you are looking for a specific type of website. We often refer to websites in the .com way. However, we also recognize that there's .org, there's .edu, there's .ca, and therefore you can look for specific sites. And if you're looking for a credible website, often we'll be looking for .org or .edu because these are returning those kinds of websites. .edu being educational websites and .org being official organizations. And also you could even use .gov, G-O-V, which is returning government websites, and those are also highly credible. So let's take a look at this. Okay, so let's check out these field searching options. So the first one, it's in title. We want to find sites that have a specific word in the title. So, coming off her great Super Bowl performance, let's check out in title Beyonce. And all of a sudden you find all the websites that have Beyonce as part of their title. Now if we were to try, instead of in title, let's try in URL. So in URL, which is the web address, let's try something different. I don't know, let's try healthy. And as well in URL, we want eating. So now all of a sudden we find websites that are all about eating healthy and proper nutrition and breakfast and all those things. And that's all great. The last one out there is the type of site, right? So let's say we want to find business studies websites, but instead of just returning these kind of websites, we want to find business studies that are educational sites. And so what we find now is all sorts of websites and web pages that are business studies that are a part of an educational website. So we find New York University and Harvard and University of Massachusetts, right? So we find websites that are all about educational opportunities regarding business studies, and that's something to consider as well. So sadly, we are now at our end. But think about this for a second. How can you combine all of these different skills and search strategies to refine your search? Think about the next time you type something into Google. Can you incorporate all of these search strategies to really refine your search? If you can, I think you're going to find some high quality web pages. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That's all. That's everything. We will see you tomorrow.